Hi guys, it's Crystal with Design Bundles. Today I'm going to show you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to applying vinyl to a round surface. Let's get started. Over here in Design Bundles, this is going to be the file that I use today. I love it. It's super cheap and it's a ton of fun. So I'm going to bring it over to Cricut Design Space, and the first thing I want to do is attach everything. Everything is individual and I want to just attach everything. So clicking on these individual and hitting the attach button because they're all just in tiny pieces. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select everything. I'm going to hit select all, and then I'm going to center. So I'll go up there to align and hit center. This is going to bring them all right there in the center so they're all the same, and then I can size it from there. Instead of trying to size them individual, I can size them all at one time. So that's a really good tip there. And then I'm just going to click on them, double check the sizing, make sure everything's about where I want it to be, and that's it. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit make it. This is going to be a vinyl project, so I don't need to mirror anything, and I'm going to use my Cricut Explorer Air 2. You could definitely, use your maker, your silhouette, you could use your joy, whatever you want to. Now when it comes to the mat, I simply spread these out just a little bit. I want wiggle room whenever I weed, as well as cutting these out. So now that I have everything cut out, I've got my ornaments, and then I've got a water bottle here, I've got my scraper tool, and I've got paper transfer tape. All right, so now we're ready to go. I just brought it in a surface because I'm working on a piece of fabric here. So I love the paper transfer tape because you can simply just tear it off, and I can use it twice. So you can reuse these over and over. Probably I can get, maybe like 3 uses out of these because I'm going to be wetting them. Now I'm going to take my ornaments. This is a mixture between matte and glossy, but you can use whatever ornaments you want to. I'm just trying to show you guys some tips and tricks for round surfaces on ornaments. So the first one here, we're just going to do a regular method. Trying to center it up here, and then starting from one side to the next, nice and slow. That's the only thing I can tell you with these type of designs here. Obviously, you can see that my design's quite big. You could bring it down in size just a little bit, but you're still going to have to fuss with it like this. You want to be nice and slow. So you're going to notice on this one here, I'm showing you guys, I got the words down, and then I'm going to come back with my little Cricut tool, adjust anything I need to, and then I'm going to apply the antlers second. So I get the first part down and then get the antlers. Now the problem with this one is you're probably going to be off a little bit. So you notice now it's like I don't have a ton of room for my antlers. So I'm just going to kind of get them in there as best as possible. They're definitely not going to be setting exactly where they could. So you're definitely running a risk like that. Now for the second trick, you guys can see, looks super cute, love it, but it's definitely not exactly where it was supposed to be. The next one here, I'm going to show you guys a wet method. So we're going to pick it up again. So I'm using that same transfer tape, taking my scraper tool, get it on there. And this time I'm going to show you guys, take your water bottle and spray your ornament first. Okay, so you want to wet your entire ornament, this side that you're working on. This is going to help you with your vinyl to be able to move it around and shift it, because these are not going to be stuck on there until you remove all the water out from underneath them. So this gives you time to kind of play around with them. So you see that I got the antlers down first, and then I'm going to go over each individual letter just like I did before, but this one's going to give me just a little bit more wiggle room. So as soon as I pull that off, they're wet underneath to where I can really still pull them up and move them around. And it's still not 100% perfect, but it's definitely a whole lot easier. So you're going to see as we go along. So I'm just kind of taking my Cricut tool here and then popping it underneath those and moving them how I want them to be. Now, one thing I will note is you would think, well, why can't I just put these individual? I could take the letters and just pop them on individual. You're never going to be able to really get that. See how they kind of have it curved? You're not going to get that perfect, and you're going to end way off. So I definitely was going to show you guys that and ended way off. I cut that out. I wasn't going to show you guys. So, but you can do it, but it's definitely a risk. You can make markings on there if you want to and definitely do something like that. All right, next up, I'm going to go back in with a dry method again, but this time I'm going to show you guys going from top to bottom. So this time we're going to put the antlers on first, so that way we don't mess up, losing our space. So that's another thing, okay? So you can put your top part first and then go down with your next piece. So that's what we're doing now. We're simply just rubbing those on, and then I'll peel that off and see, now we know, okay, those are good to go. So now I can line up my next piece. So if you're going to do, something like this, definitely start with the bottom and come down. and then slowly just one letter at a time. That's just the way that it works. But you have to be careful because sometimes it's just going to want to squish together. So you'll kind of notice that here a little bit. Some letters kind of get a little bit wonky, but what's really good is you can definitely still take your little Cricut tool there, little poker tool, whatever you have, and just kind of get under there and slowly work those out. Just keep in mind with projects like this, they're going to be very tedious. You just basically need to take your time, nice and slow. Don't rush it, because if you do, it's going to be a jumbled mess. All right, next up, I'm going to show you a wet method again, but this time we're going to spray the vinyl. So we're going to spray the back of that adhesive, and then we're also going to spray the ornament as well. So I'm going to spray both sides this time, and this works even better. So that's just another tip when it comes to the wet method. So starting at that top again, I'm just going to kind of, start from the center, if you will, and then slowly push everything down. All right, so I'm just continuing to push everything. Now I'm going to peel off. Now you're going to notice my C and a couple of my letters want to kind of pull it because I've got it extra wet this time. But it just helps. Like, notice this C, it just moves like nothing. So I just can completely pull that up and move it around. Now I've talked about like completely, putting these one at a time. It's one thing when it's already down because you can kind of see the alignment of everything to move things like that. But this wet method I really do like as well. It really does help to move that around a whole lot better. I love the way that this one came out. So highly recommend that. Now, once again, make sure that you guys completely dry those to pull out any sort of moisture out from underneath the vinyl. All right, so now I've showed you guys a few of my tips and tricks when it comes to applying vinyl to a round surface like an ornament. Let me know down below, what is your guys' favorite method? Is it applying it dry? Is it applying it wet? What ornaments are you guys working on this holiday season? I just love this white on black tone. It's super, super cute. And then you can just simply tie a bow on the top and call it a day. So this is a really cute set of ornaments, and you just can't beat the price for the design. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.